So after I wrapped up my internship, and I will admit I was heartbroken. It was a tough loss, but life goes on, and you pick yourself up and figure out your next move.
Dream Supply.
I was always around music. Everything I was doing was always based around music, because ultimately music was my passion and my love. And for me, I couldn't play an instrument. I couldn't write songs. I definitely couldn't sing. So the next best thing for me was still being a part of music and around the creation of music by surrounding myself with people who did do that, and then trying to find my value in helping them some type of way. So we get these open mic nights launched and taken off, and just from my time at the radio station and interning and all the people I was networking with, we were able to pull in some pretty prominent judges from around Atlanta to come out and judge the open mic. So there was a really big draw there for people. So there was a lot of incentive, and it was all very word of mouth street promotions. We didn't have a ton of online anything at that time, because we're looking at like 05, 06 right now. And that's when I met an artist by the name of Dirty Bodine. And I think it was like the first 3 weeks in a row that we had the event, he won it each time. And part of it, obviously the music is a big part of what a career can be for an artist, but Dirty was just I think he had it from every aspect. He had the music, he saw trends, he created trends, he got in front of the curve, and he had the personality, the stage presence. He put on a show. He was a full-blown entertainer.
I hit like Golden Glove, they ain't ready for me. I showed them no love, I leave them in history.
So out of those performances, we connected outside of the open mic night, and I really, really felt good about his potential and what he could become as an artist. We never hit like an official agreement. We just kind of started working together, and we started, I started going to the studio with him. We started, I tried to link him with some producers, and I just really wanted to see him succeed as an artist, because I really believed he had the it factor. I really felt like this guy has everything.
All right, past the date, now we can ball out all night. I'm in the club with the thing like, all right, let's right, that's right, let's fight. No nigga, let's get this just right, that's right. Dirty Bodine, Alabama, don't stop. Yeah, boy, 334 on the clock, don't stop. Yeah, this your boy Dirty Bodine, man. It's my Street 16.
He was signed to a small label out of Tallahassee, so there was some red tape. It was really an iffy scenario about some of the things we could and couldn't do, and how we moved forward with certain things. And then unfortunately, there was some things that came up in my personal life where we kind of drifted apart and lost touch for a brief moment. I would say maybe a year, 18 months. And then out of nowhere, somehow, some way, we linked up again. But now this time when we crossed paths, he had linked up with producer / artist by the name of Gigolo, or Jig as I call him or have called him, and now he goes by Amir Perry.
Just call me special, magnificent, either or it's love. Extravagant, actually, I'll let you are not and more. To me, don't matter, I take all of the above, like I'm standing right below Alicia Keys and love.
But the amazing thing was they had just gotten off a tour with Ice Cube. And I mean, that's a huge thing. Dirty's on tour with them, and they're doing music together. Like, all of a sudden, it just all started to click. I'm like, dude, we're about to blow. Like, this is it. This is everything any artist ever says they want and need to happen. Like, all the elements were there.
What it is, nigga? It's your boy Bodine, man. Dirty Bodine. Man up the squad, boy. Represent new money. Hey, get like me.
Jig did an album for Dirty out there in Phoenix. There was so many bangers on it. It was insane. It was crazy. We were of the MySpace music generation, so this new music represented this thing that the three of us built together, as far as them creating the music and then me marketing, pushing, promoting, lining stuff up. So I'm like, we're gonna do kind of like a release show concert. And in my area of Atlanta, south of Atlanta that I lived, there was this little hole-in-the-wall bar called Memories. I mean, you put 30 people in there, it was gonna look packed out. So, you know, this was the very first club promotion outside of an open mic night. This was the first party promotion that I had ever done. And, you know, we packed it out and we had, like, it was a great show. Now, here's the thing, is like, it was not a common thing on our side of town at that time, where artists were going to like the local spots. Like, if you were going to see a performance, you had to go into the city, which is like, you know, 20-25 minutes ride on the expressway. So that really put it into high gear. Now, the next thing that happened was I borrow a camcorder from somebody, and that's when I shoot my very first music video. It wasn't even a full video, it was like half of the song for Dirty. The record was called No Lie. And, you know, I still used resources to pull some people together. We actually shot it in front of Memories, where we did the show at. But, I mean, obviously the video was not, the quality of it, I should say, could have been better. But, you know, we kept it moving. We had some visual, you know, at the time.
The beat's so sick, somebody call an ambulance. No competition for certain, that is the circumstance. Yeah, don't get me started. You seen MySpace, nigga, is you retarded? Your niggas gonna.
One of the things that really made me realize that both of these guys, Dirty and Jig, were super incredibly talented is when there was a record that Dirty had went out to Phoenix. They recorded almost a whole album. And for whatever reason, Dirty missed his flight and ended up having to stay one more night, and they ended up knocking out an entire record because of it. And that record probably ended up being his most popular record. That record was called She's Sexy.
She's sexy, she know it, she's shaking that thing like, hey, I'm on it, patroning, we need to head back to the room.
To this day, it still blows my mind, because there was like this Russian kid over in Russia, the Ukraine. He shot a video of his girlfriend dancing to it and using the video. There's other videos over in Europe where they've done like a techno and EDM remix. It was crazy because it picked up across the globe, and I mean, to this day, it's still a banging record. Like, it's still a hot record. So what it comes down to is, you know, my job was managing, being the buffer between anybody who wanted to do business or book those guys, handling publishing and copyright paperwork, coming up with networking and promotion strategies. It got into where I had to develop the website, I had to start designing, you know, the graphics.
A lot of people see my page, man, and think I got a professional photographer taking my pics, man. No, dog, it's all in-house, you know what I'm saying? Michael Escobar, and we doing all this ourselves. No budget, no funding, you know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing, let me be completely transparent. When I started doing these things, I did not just pick them up and they were and they looked great. No, they were horrible. Like, they were flat out no good. But it was better than nothing at the time, and that's how you learn. You have to, go through that to at least get to be decent and then get to be better.
It's your boy Dirty Bodine, man. Fuck with your boy. Hey, shout out to Entertainment.
We finally got to like 2010, and the Canon T2i came out, and Jig was, he got me all excited and hype about all this test footage, and we both end up buying one. So we go out with Dirty and some other people to Atlantic Station downtown, and we're gonna shoot this video for this record called Put On A Show. And man, you couldn't tell us, man, we were out there all night shooting this video, and it was like, man, this looks so good, it looks so good. Because the screen on the back of the camera is like an inch. So yeah, it looks good on the back of it. But we get back to Jig's house, and dude, the footage was horrible. It was noisy, it was grainy. Yeah, we didn't have any lights. We just used the street lights, the lights that were there. So we ended up doing some homework and then went back out and reshot it with some proper settings and made some adjustments. And that was the story of our very first music video that, came out decent. It started the whole music video directing production. That's really where all of that started.
Yeah, I'm on another level. I'm so ahead of schedule. I got Beretta flow, spitting that heavy metal. I deserve a medal or something similar. Cause when it come to money, I put on seminars.
Once we figured out the basics from shooting the Put a Show On music video, we were hooked. We started to shoot more and more, buying more gear, constantly working on our craft. There was even a record of Dirty's that I ended up shooting a video for that had my oldest son in it. He was like 8 years old at the time. The video was called Have It All. And then we ended up shooting like 6 videos for a bunch of Jig's records. Ain't Nobody, Fly Shit, Reeler, Still On It, and Rock the Mic were some of them.
It's that fly shit, best believe it, that's I shit. If she fly, it's I miss. Best believe it, that's my bitch. In my opinion, in 2001 T.I. he dropped his greatest album. Religiously I listen like this nigga hear my pastor. Even thought about trapping, but I stayed in my lane. Even though his sermon had me thinking about pitching cocaine. Quarter Puerto Rican, quarter African. Girl, you black shit. She just wanna party and do hood rat shit with her friends. I only been here 30 minutes.
One of the really cool videos that we did, it was for an intro to his mixtape that he did. It was called Reeler, and it was black and white, and we got super creative. And the reason I say it's super creative is because if you go back and look at the video, you would never be able to tell that we shot it 100% in my living room. And it really contributes to the statement that, it doesn't matter gear and all that stuff, like, you're only as good as your imagination. And we turned it into something because it was like we're not gonna let our limitations at the time set us back. Like, we just wanted to make a dope video, and that's what we did. I think we did a really good job on that video. And I remember this day when my wife came home and she was like, what on earth is going on here? Because we just had things holding up black sheets and all this stuff, and but at the end of the day, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta make your environment, no excuses, the dream over everything. I say it all the time. So 2010 to 2011 started to size up to be pretty big years. Things were really starting to pop. Jig ended up producing Ice Cube's single, I Rep That West, and actually sang the hook of the record in addition to producing it. If you fast forward to now, Jig's produced records for everybody from Rick Ross, Young Gotti, Kevin Gates, Too Short, Tupac, Twister, Young Buck, and the list goes on. If this is the first time you've heard of Gigolo Jig or Amir Perry, you definitely need to check him out, amirperry.com. He now has a tutorial channel on YouTube about everything, producing, mixing, mastering, the whole thing. After the small victory of our memory show, we started doing more shows across all different bars and clubs on the south side of Atlanta. Eventually, I started getting a name for myself as a DJ and party promoter, and some of the venues would ask me to come in and do guest appearances and guest nights at some of the clubs and venues as a special promotion. Eventually, that grew into my first DJ residency at the Zone Sports Bar. I became their Friday night DJ along with a partner at the time, Quentin. He helped with the party promotion aspect of things, and that was the birth of the Southside Party Kings.